In this case, plaintiff gave defendant money to purchase tickets to sports events for plaintiff. Plaintiff used part of the money as agreed, but did not return $7,000 of the unspent portion. Conceding his obligation and threatening him with legal action, plaintiff asked co-defendant Stamler, his fiancée, to pay the debt with a check drawn on her bank account and promised to deposit the funds to cover the check in her account. Upon this promise, Stamler gave her check for $6,000 payable to plaintiff, and he delivered it to plaintiff in partial payment of his debt to plaintiff. Plaintiff accepted Stamler's check dated February 12, 2001, and deposited it in his bank account. Plaintiff, however, failed to deposit his promised funds into Stamler's account, so her check was returned to plaintiff for insufficient funds. Plaintiff seeks summary judgment against Stamler for the amount of her check drawn on her account payable to plaintiff and returned to plaintiff unpaid. Stamler cross moves for summary judgment, dismissing her as a defendant, claiming in defense that she received no consideration for her check. Plaintiff insists he is a holder in due course and thus not subject to any defense by Stamler. For the reasons explained below, the court grants the plaintiff's motion and denies Stamler's cross motion. If plaintiff is a holder in due course of Stamler's check, he took it free from all claims to it on the part of any person and all defenses of any party to the instrument with whom the holder has not dealt, and may recover from Stamler the instrument's face value plus interest. In the triangle of transactions presented, the only party to the check other than plaintiff is Stamler. The undisputed facts that Stamler gave her check to the defendant, not to plaintiff, that he delivered it to plaintiff, and that plaintiff accepted and deposited it as payment toward a debt plaintiff owed to plaintiff, further established that plaintiff and Stamler did not deal with each other. Thus, if plaintiff is a holder in due course, he is not subject to any defenses on Stamler's part. Plaintiff, the payee of Stamler's check, is a holder in due course if he took the instrument for value in good faith and without notice that the check was written on insufficient funds, or that the promisor had a defense to her obligation to satisfy the instrument. Since Stamler is the only party to the check besides plaintiff, only her claims and defenses are relevant, and for purposes of determining whether plaintiff is a holder in due course, only claims and defenses to the check are relevant. Thus, any defense to her promise to the plaintiff or claim against him she may have is irrelevant to plaintiff's status as a holder in due course. Good faith is honesty in fact in the conduct of transactions concerned. Although plaintiff was prematurely and presumptively aware of the insecurity that accompanies a business transaction between individuals based on a personal case, Mitchell against Greater New York Savings Bank, 121 Miscellaneous 2nd, 840, notice under the Uniform Commercial Code is determined by what he actually knew, not by what he had reason to know or what would have aroused a reasonable person's suspicion to the circumstances. The actual notice must be such that taking the instrument amounted to bad faith. In determining good faith, the court must consider all the circumstances. Plaintiff, who bears the burden of establishing that he is a holder in due course in the face of any defense to the check, attests that he accepted Stamler's check on defendant's representation that the check was to satisfy his debt and to forestall legal action by plaintiff against defendant.